cars and the official leader.
Up next, High Octane Motorsport features international rally action.
The final day of the Total Rally South Africa got underway in Ermelo. Crews faced another top 10 special stages. There was early drama for Jan Havig and Douglas Judd. A valve clearance problem meant the Sassel VW's engine wouldn't fire, and the pair were forced to drive the Golf out of Parc Ferme using only the starter. Drama 2 for Team Total's Etienne Lawrence and Robert Paisley, as their A6 Toyota also refused to start, and like Havig, Lawrence had to rely on the starter to drive the Toyota out of Parc Ferme. Lawrence said to work to solve the problem, which appeared to be electrical.
We're still trying to figure out what the problem is. We think it's the igniter. It's not hard to see.
Havig and Judd go on their merry way after the early morning scare. 10 special stages in the Warburton, Amsterdam and Panbelt areas near to Swaziland were tackled by crews. Spectators turned out in their droves to see their favorite teams in action, and none were disappointed by Jannie Havig's display in the Sassel VW Golf. On board with Havig and Judd, enjoy the ride. Veteran driver Hannes Kobler at the wheel of the Total Bridgestone Nissan Sentra. He and co-driver Richard Leake had moved into second place overnight and were the Class A7 leaders. Third-placed Etienne Lawrence and Robert Paisley got the better of the electronic problem on the Team Total Toyota Corolla and were the Class A6 leaders. Chart van der Walt and Cindy Harding up until now had experienced the trouble run in the locally developed Sassel VW Polo Player and were intent on making up lost time. FIA Africa Rally Championship leaders Skalberger and Fitzwarnapple had a firm grip on matters and comfortably led the N4 class in the Subaru. A newcomer to the N4 class, Johnny Gemmell led the event at one stage on Friday, but an off-road excursion dropped him well down the placings and was clawing his way back up the leaderboard. A steady run by JP Damso and Graham Hooper in the Team Total Toyota saw the pair move into second place in the A6 class behind teammates Lawrence and Paisley. The leading international team of Satwan Singh from Zambia and Tom Muriuki from Kenya. Singh is a multiple African rally champion and has been a Subaru supporter for some years. Four-wheel drives dominated. Gemmell was first, Berger was second, and De Villiers third. The service park at Warburton. Official rally leaders Jan Havig and Douglas Judd were concerned about the deteriorating performance of the Sassel VW Golf. Identified earlier as a valve clearance problem, technicians set to work to try to remedy the situation. A concerned Jan Havig threw some light on the problem.
We've got a small problem with the valve clearances, and the engine doesn't want to start at low RPM, and it's getting worse in the stage as well. So we're going to try and just remedy the problem and just cruise to the end. I think that's the strategy for today, and we'll abandon the dice.
Bad news for Havig, but good news for the charging Hannes Kobler, who could now possibly take the lead.
We're basically lying second overall, and I understand that Jannie's got some problems. So we're going to try and keep the pressure on Jannie and see how long his car lasts. You know, you won't know. But we'll see, and it's going well with our car at the moment, no problems.
Co-drivers compare stage times as technicians attend to the Sassel VW Polo Player of Chart van der Walt and Cindy Harding.
Last night had a bit of hassle. We did one stage just in second gear, and that cost us a few minutes. But we repaired that, and we also changed the master cylinders last night, but now we've got a slight problem. The brakes are binding, but we know what the problem is, and we will rectify that now. So further, I think we must just hang in there. It's still a very long day, and the roads now is from here on, the stages are getting rough.
The atmosphere in Berger and Swanepoel's pit was relaxed. The Subaru had not missed a beat so far.
We're hanging in there. So far, so good. Still a long day to go, but we're happy with the results that's going on.
Johnny Gemmell was hell-bent on beating Berger and on gaining places lost the previous day when he tossed the Subaru off the road.
We dropped quite a bit of time last night. We went through a wire fence and it got caught up in the suspension, took the brake pipes out. So we drove the last stage with no brakes. But we'll try today. We're starting in 12 and we're looking forward to the rest of the day.
Not a good start to the morning.
No, a little bit of a hectic situation. We couldn't get spark. I mean, overnight this thing just doesn't give spark in the next morning. And seems like a loose contact in one of the wires to the computer. Found that, and we had to do 56 Ks in 20 minutes. We made it by 15 seconds. And now flat wheel in this stage. So we got to consolidate, I think, for the next 3 because they're rough. And then go for it for the rest of the day.
Camille de Villiers and Francois Jordan, unofficial rally leaders in the 3.5-litre Nissan hardbody off-road truck. A remarkable performance considering the fact that this was de Villiers' rally debut. Former rally champion Glenn Hall heads up the Nissan Motorsport project, and the team has become a dominant force in off-road racing under his leadership. The picturesque special stage over tough, twisty terrain. Hubig was as spectacular as ever, but clearly nursing the ailing engine of the Sassel VW Golf. Here in the cockpit with Hannes Robler and Richard Leake. Robler's smooth driving style has always been a pleasure to observe. Whatever he drives with passion and has the ability to conserve the vehicle in the toughest of conditions. Etienne Lawrence and Robert Paisley were on a charge in the Team Total Toyota Corolla and had a comfortable lead in the A6 class. Skalkberger and Fitzwonderful had decided to maintain their lead in the N4 class and amass maximum points in the FIA Africa Rally Championship. Stefan Boshoff and Paul van Wyk emerged as the Class N2 leaders in the Toyota Conquest after event-long leaders, Team Total's Dean Sanders and Ashley Herricker, retired in the previous stage. Talk about veterans. Class N3 leaders Jeff Mortimer and Harry Herricker have a combined age of 124. Mortimer is a former saloon car and rally champion who decided to return to rallying last year. Reigning N1 champions Rodney Fasahi and Carolyn Swan moved up to the new A5 class this season and, as in the past, dominated throughout the event. Camille de Villiers and Francois Jordan hard at work in the Nissan hardbody off-road truck, similar to the one in which Kobler and Leake won the Mitsubishi Barberstone 500 off-road race recently. Whenever off-road vehicles have competed in rallies, they have been major attractions, given their size and speed. It hasn't taken former motocrosser and saloon car driver Martinez Breers long to settle into rallying. In only his second event, he and Dolph Kutsia were runaway leaders in the N1 class. The Volkswagen-Sure VW Chico had also proven to be a formidable contender in the class.
My racing started with motocross, so I enjoyed dirt, and I think I've got some background in dirt from motocross, so I still have that feeling for reading dirt roads and changing roads, so I think it helped me a lot. Plus in road racing you spend some time off-road as well if you leave the circuit, so you learn to control a car when it's out of shape as well.
Despite having to nurse the Sassel VW Golf, Jan Hubig and Douglas Judd maintained their overall lead and have consistently finished in the top 4 on each stage run so far that day. Hannes Robler and Richard Leake had dropped a place to Berger and Swanepoel, but were still the runaway leaders in the A7 class in the Total Bridgestone Nissan. On board with Class A6 leaders Lawrence and Paisley in the Team Total Toyota, and a bit of a moment there as the Corolla slides wide. The talented Lawrence's aggressive driving style has sometimes landed him in deep trouble, and he has in the past had his fair share of spectacular accidents. A collapsed bearing on stage 16 and punctures slowed his progress up the leaderboard somewhat. Chad van der Veld and Cindy Harding in one of many Sassel VW Polo players in the Total Rally South Africa. The player project is the brainchild of former rally driver and team boss Johan Evertser. The demise of John Lloyd on day 1 of the event meant that Berger and Swanepoel only had to finish to score an additional 10 points and secure a 12-point lead in the FIA Africa Rally Championship. No chances were being taken by the Subaru pair. Johnny Gemmell and Gideon Trollope won the first stage of the day in the Alan J. Plant Services Subaru, but a puncture on the next stage and an encounter with a tree halted his charge. New VW signing Rivers and Brendan Noonan had a steady run in the A7 Sassel VW Polo Player, while Barry Kobler and Mike Burrows in a similar car were well placed in 7th position. 8th overall at this point were JP Damso and Graham Hooper in the A6 Team Total Toyota Corolla. Zambian Satwan Singh had put in a great charge during the morning and moved 6 places up the leaderboard in the Mobil 1 Subaru Impreza. Tony Ball from KwaZulu-Natal and Marty Willifew in a Sassel VW Polo Player were in a charge and lying 10th overall, but the man on a mission was Hergen Fecken, also in a Player. Fecken started 24th in Ermelo after problems on day 2, won stages 15 and 16, and had moved up to 13th overall. A giant killing performance. Unclassified Total Rally South Africa leaders, Anil de Villiers and Francois Jordan in the Nissan hardbody off-road truck. Spectacular. On board with the Galloping Geriatrics, as they are affectionately known, Jeff Mortimer and Harry Herricker in the Sassel Nissan Sentra. Note the angle of the left front wheel, the result of an encounter with a bang.
It's VW. I'm telling you.
Another off-roader, Yaki Hubert in the Jojo Tanks Volvo turbo-powered VW, never failed to please the spectators. Mortimer's only challenger in the M3 class, husband and wife team Joel and Annika Ritson, also in a Nissan Sentra. The service park at Busby. The local community turned this into a festive occasion with food and refreshments in abundance. All seemed well in the Sassel VW pit as technicians tended to Jan Habig's Sassel VW Golf.
I think our repairs, although it's a bit of a felt repair, has worked. So far we're just keeping it in there to the end, and I'm pretty confident we'll get to the end. We've got enough of a lead on the other cars, so there's no need now to push the car too hard, and we only can look after the car.
Skalkberger's relaxed appearance belied the fact that he was under huge pressure to win the FIA Africa Rally Championship category.
We had a slight off, fortunately not very serious. We were very, very lucky, lost about 30 seconds. And apart from that, we're going slowly and taking it easy at the moment.
Berger and Swanepoel's main threat in the FIA Africa Championship is Zambian Satwan Singh. The multiple champion can always be relied upon to finish well up in the points.
Oh, we just chugging along. Hopefully we get to the finish. We're having many problems all the time, but we're hoping to get some points at the end of the event.
Emergency repairs to the Nissan Sentra were underway in the Mortimer pit.
Jeff, the problem here?
Yeah, we hit a bank and we bent something here. We're just trying to see what it is. What is bent? I think it's the upright here.
Whoops. A high-speed nosedive at the end of stage 16 forced Rivers and Brendan Noonan into retirement.
Stage 16, just at the flying finish, we hit a yump and must have just hit it a bit skew and nosedived, and the car's a little bit buggered, as you can see. Pulley wheel, flywheel is buggered, we can't start the car.
A strong contingent of Zimbabweans entered the Total Rally South Africa, including first-time visitor Derek Lane.
We have been running at the back of the field, so it has been pretty hard with all the vehicles going through in front of us, churning up the ground. It's a bit like a toboggan track going down some stages. But with guys that are falling out, we are going ahead, moving up the field, and it is a lot easier going. The last couple of stages have been rough, but we're going into some nice smooth stuff now, and we're just going to hold it to the end. Finish is what we're looking for today.
The barefooted Hannes Kruger is a regular competitor in South Africa, and this year he was entered in an N2 Toyota Corolla.
Yesterday was a terrible day for us. We lost 19 minutes, which put us right back to about 32nd position. Today we've gone in with a fairly hard charge, and we're coming up the field. We're taking good time with the guys in front, and just having fun. Conditions are fantastic. The roads are really good, interesting. The forest roads here got to be the best.
An MGB GT in a modern-day rally? Roger Pierce is the MG fanatic.
How many rally miles is this done worldwide now?
This one, about 90,000 kilometers. You'll see it's breaking up a little bit here and there, so forth. But it's been to 48 different countries on about 5 major international rallies. Done London, Sydney twice, London, Mexico once, Africa once, and Targa, Tasmania about 3 times. Unfortunately, we're all a bit long in the tooth now, and we're having difficulty seeing our way and finding our way, and we're hitting the odd rocking thing, which is not doing us much good. But now we're having a lot of fun. Only came here for the fun.
Nice visitors for speed.